Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so glad you are here. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I love making these videos for you, and we are going to blow up our YouTube channel in 2021, and I need you to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get all of the videos that I release. I am going to dive into overcoming adversity, depression, and anxiety. If you haven't already, watch the first, second, and third videos. I am exposing everything that it took for me to rise from the depths of despair and darkness and drudgery of depression to living a life that I absolutely love to live, that is so fulfilling that I wouldn't change for anything. So what I have done is reverse engineered what it took to get me from the depth of despair to now the highs and the heights. And I am going to share with you what it took so that hopefully if you are there, if you are at the point where you're just holding on for dear life, where you are literally at the end of your rope and you are just holding on, that when you apply these principles and keys in your life, that it can help you elevate out of that moment, that place, that despair and darkness and anxiety, and come and start enjoying and living the life that you absolutely love. I'm just going to do a really quick recap. I went through a massive trauma when I was 23 years old. My oldest son, at 22 months old, fell from a second-story window. He passed away 5 hours later from blunt head trauma, and it absolutely wrecked my life. I went from being just this ray of sunshine and joy and happiness and love to sleeping 20 hours a day, depressed, despair. There was nothing left to live for, and I reached the bottom. On my son's 5-year anniversary, I made a choice. I knew I had to decide what I was going to do with my experience. And I realized that I needed to make a decision. Let it make me bitter or better. Let it transform me or let me conform to it to learn how to thrive or just survive through the rest of my life. So that's all in the other videos. We're going to jump right now into the next key to happiness that I found. And this key was found actually when I chose into 365 days of fun. I started to experiment. The moment that I made that decision to be happy again, I really was just signing up for an experiment. I didn't know how I would actually achieve happiness. I just knew that I had to figure it out. And so all of these things were just ways for me to try and figure my own happiness out. Well, I knew that before my son died, I was always really happy when I was having fun. And so I thought, if I could just create fun for 365 days, then I would be able to be happy, because certainly fun is happiness, right? And I also knew that it had taken me 5 years to become this miserable, and it was probably going to take me a significant amount of time to become unmiserable. So what I did was 365 days of fun. I lasted for 30 days. And keep in mind, like, my ability to create fun at this time in my life was really, really, really minute. It was things like go outside and jump on the tramp for 5 minutes, go on a bike ride, get a Slurpee with my kids, go on a walk, just swing on some swings for 3 minutes. I mean, my bar of fun was way down here, which it's actually pretty surprising because I'm a really big fun bug, and my fun was just super, super minimal. So I did this 365 days of fun where I was intentionally doing something every day that I felt was fun. And none of it was working, and I kept finding that I was completely and totally, utterly miserable. And it became really evident how miserable I was doing this 365 days of fun challenge when I was like, well, none of these other fun things are working, so why don't we go to the happiest place on earth? I booked us a trip to Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, and while we were at Disneyland, I was sobbing, I was crying, and I was completely miserable. And I realized in that moment that having fun had nothing to do with actual true joy and happiness. That if you are happy, having fun can add to that happiness, but having fun does not create happiness. It only adds to it. So I took that as, all right, I'm on the wrong track. Having fun is not the answer that I am looking for. I was in Las Vegas on a trip, and my daughter was with me. She was 2 years old at the time. She had just turned 2, and she was crying in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I went into her room and I smelled immediately why she was crying. She had pooped her diaper. And I picked her up out of her crib and I laid her down on the floor. And she reaches up to me and she touches my face and she says, "Mommy, you pretty. I love you." And right then, that's when I had this key to happiness revealed to me. Happiness is not in what you are doing. It is not in what you are not doing. Happiness is being present with what is right in front of you. So as I was changing her diaper, I was just this rush of gratitude filled my heart, mind, and soul that my daughter was crying in the middle of the night, because that meant that she was alive. That she woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was so grateful to be woken up, because I know some moms out there wish that their baby would wake them up at 2 o'clock in the morning, but instead their baby is in heaven. You know, there's always something to be grateful for in the moment that you're in. And I found that a massive amount of my pain and suffering and misery was coming from wishing that I was living in the past, or desiring to fast forward and live in the future. Living in the past before he died, or fast forwarding until the day that I could die and be with him again. And that created an environment for me where I was alive, but I wasn't living in my moment. And so it was like I was a walking zombie. The best way that I found to be present, to become present, is to pay attention every single day and journal what you can see, what you can hear, what you can touch, what you can taste, and what you can smell. And by paying attention to these things, it brings you into your present moment of what's going on in your life right now. So much of anxiety and depression is fear of what's going to happen, and so much of depression is regretting things that have happened. So we have to pull ourselves from the past and from the future and bring it right back to the present, because most of the time, what is going on in your life right now in this very moment is something that you could find joy for, or joy in, and that is worth living for. So that is my tidbit for you today. If you are looking to install happiness and cultivate it as a talent, then become present through gratitude. 5 senses: what you can see, what you can hear, what you can touch, what you can taste, and what you can smell. And that will bring you right to your present moment. Hopefully this was helpful. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, comment, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I love having you here. I love creating this community. And please share these videos if you find them helpful. If you think that it would be helpful to jump on a one-on-one discovery call to see if there is some way that I can help you, head over to my website at freedomfix.com and grab a free discovery call. There is a link in my banner also to my calendar. So if you feel so inclined, go ahead and grab one of those, and I would love to chat with you to see if I can help you cultivate your talents of happiness. Have a great day, a great night, and a great life. Bye.